you to Imran and the Business of Fashion for having me, and thank you to everyone here and online as well. I'm going to start off with some great news. We're in the best possible setting to start building the future. Expressing an interest is the most challenging part, and adoption is next. Hi everyone, my name is Ommy, and I'm a creative technologist. I try to help people come to terms with the fact that we're in the future now, as opposed to the future is coming. But it's always good to look ahead. Now, I'm sure we're all here with the same question. What is the metaverse? How do I engage authentically? Are we in Web3? Ask any expert and the answer is always different. Ask the same expert on a different day, the answer is different. In my opinion, the metaverse does not exist yet. So how do we get there? Let's start with the state of things now. We're expressing or experiencing a digital renaissance, as it were, the pandemic being a huge catalyst. The consumer is becoming younger and more digitally native and is more than willing to spend money on digital items that hold real value in the physical world. But should we be surprised by this? We've been valuing arbitrary digital assets for years, whether it be follower accounts, verified check marks, and I can't remember the last time I thought twice into purchasing a software ecosystem or buying an app. The internet has become the only place where one has full and complete control over their self-image. Users can curate their own environment, delete something they don't like, block something they don't want to see, and the algorithms will reinforce the world that one has created for themselves. These worlds are becoming even more so integrated with our daily lives. Our avatars share our likeness, our style, our range of expressions, aiding our communication with others. And our digital identities can define us and have significant tangible impact, and our digital and physical existence are converging. Now, I say all of this to reinforce a crucial point. The foundational tools and habits that will form the parts and the essential parts of the metaverse are already established, and now tech's real focus is on facilitating the frictionless interactions between our two worlds. The metaverse, as it were, is not reliant on any one specific technology, but instead built of a combination of many exciting innovations and technologies. These include, but aren't limited to, 5G, LiDAR, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer vision, soft robotics, haptics, my favorite, AR, and also VR. And companies are rapidly invested in developing hardware and infrastructure to supplement these new experiences. And they're rolling it out as we speak. We have 5G to ensure faster speed and lower latency, LiDAR to map the world with extreme accuracy, spatial audio to support multi-sensory experiences and lifelike immersion. And platforms on top of that are being extremely transparent with their plans to build new interfaces and hardware to support the next generation of computing and emerging tech, with AR glasses being at the forefront of this, existing at the intersection of innovative software and hardware. Soon, gone are the days of pulling out your phone from your pocket to capture a moment, to check your schedule, to help you navigate from point A to B, or even visualize the items you desire most in your own personal environment. Instead, your glasses will do it for you. A seamless complement to the real world. The metaverse seeks to be invisible, persistent, discrete, and contextually aware. But as I've said before, adoption is paramount. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but it's already started. Current AR integrations are crucial to storytelling and help users form interaction habits that will serve us well for the future of XR and wearables. Augmented reality is here and prevalent on most major platforms through filters, lenses, click-to-try-ons, and integrated into platforms that users already have a great degree of familiarity to, which further increases the accessibility of these interfaces. Now, whether it be the aid to your own personal storytelling, I'm sure all of us have a favorite filter, or a guide to help you with making a purchase decision. Thank God I didn't buy those glasses last week. Turns out they didn't actually suit me. Hundreds of millions of users do engage with AR on these platforms in the present day and are creating their own content in real time with devices they already have. It's forecasted by eMarketer that over 110 million people in the US will use AR at least once a month by 2023. And there's also been a real considerable shift of the use of AR to be something based in utility as opposed to novelty. It's helping people solve real problems, reducing waste, accelerating workflows, and allowing us to spend more time connecting with those we care about. Studies show that AR-guided purchases lead to a 25% decrease in product returns, and interacting with products in AR prior to purchase leads to a 94% higher conversion rate. By 2025, e-commerce is projected to be the primary distribution for luxury goods, and as the customer journey changes, along with touch points and product interaction, the dialogue between the client and brand needs to be customized to personalize both the customer's individual experience and also their relationship with the brand. From AR try-on, where a user can try on clothing and accessories in real time using only their phone camera, to the use of LiDAR to accurately estimate a user's shoe size, emerging technology is crucial to driving retail experience as the role of the brick and mortar changes. Economically as well, digital makes sense. Integrations are infinitely scalable, create an asset once, and it can be repurposed and reused without constraint. It can also be dynamically updated and changed remotely to reflect fundamental changes with immediacy. But even from a social standpoint, we very much live in a time where things are done for our digital selves. If an item is worn once or shared, God forbid even make it onto the grid, then it can't be seen again. The resale market is growing at a 21 times rate faster than the broader retail sector, and the environmental aspects of this disposable mentality are yet to be fully realized. My current research and experimentation revolves around digital skinning, essentially creating virtual overlays onto physical products to allow for infinite customization for use online and eventually universally accessible wearable AR glasses. With the ever-increasing visibility and presence of digital fashion, there's been some natural concern that the emergence of solely digital solutions lead to the erasure of the craftsmanship behind the creation of tangible products. Now, it's important to reinforce that the tactility of the natural world is something that augmented reality seeks to enhance and not replace. The digital skins or counterparts I show to illustrate are only accessible when a physical target object is present. Consider the product to be the key into entering this virtual experience. This methodology ensures that all design aspects are upheld, and the exclusivity and excitement of a bespoke experience can persist in both realms. Now, these particular proof of concepts combine augmented reality and more specifically scene understanding to recognize objects in a user's scene and dynamically change as a result of this. So in this example here, you can see when flowers are added into the scene, your clothing can change. I'm using phone images and objects out of convenience, but to put it simply, these bags and these clothings change based on the user's environment. Now, these further examples demonstrate interfacing and experience and enabling generative design through things like gesture recognition, audio activity, voice commands, all with user interaction in mind for the future of wearables. But it is worth saying that all of these implementations are possible now, and all of these examples you have seen have been recorded using mobile with no post-processing. But it's always good to keep the future in mind. Now, picture the world through an AR lens. There's no need to buy multiples of the same product or dispose of something after one use, when they can be customized dynamically and immediately based on your requirements. There's no waiting for logistics. These changes happen in real time, and through shared experiences and true interoperability, it remains consistent for all parties. It's the equivalent of building a capsule wardrobe, except this one has truly limitless capabilities. When silhouettes between seasons remain constant and the only colorways change, customers can now purchase the spring-summer, the resort, or the limited edition skin to their tangible product. And the best part from an even practical standpoint, when my AR glasses run out of charge or my Wi-Fi goes down, I'm still gonna look great. These executions aim to develop modular implementations that enable users to make lifetime purchases with the confidence that their product will continue to change and grow with them and add real value to both their physical and digital selves' expression. Customer retention is more cost-effective than acquisition, and in this hybrid period before widespread understanding, adoption, and interoperability of these new technologies, augmented reality has only ever made sense to me. So, what can we do about this now? Now, the great thing about being ahead of the curve is that you get to shape the future. AR is a very visual discipline, and aesthetics are extremely essential, and that's where you come in. We're all equipped to continue to foster good practice and familiarity with AR as we seek to build a wider breadth of stability with the technology we already have. So experimentation is critical. Understanding your customers, the things they value, and the challenges that you can help them overcome, and what gets them excited. It's essential to meet users where they are with use cases that provide awareness now to facilitate adoption when these newer interfaces are ready. This is the future of self-presence and self-expression, and perhaps even the metaverse, whatever that is. The only constant is change, so why not join the journey and start enjoying the current future? Thank you.
I have some questions for you. Thank you for that. It's like a little peek into, how you think about keeping products and things up to date using this technology. But if there are people in the room that want to kind of understand or explore this for their own businesses, what advice do you have for them?
I think experimentation is key. I think the great thing about having things that are digital means that, number one, they can be uploaded almost immediately and experimented. You're able to see how users are engaging with things, and it's a very visual and immediate experience. So just get started. AR has been compressed or made into bite-sized executions through the use of things like Spark AR, which is Facebook and Meta's platform for AR development. So you're able to create these experiences that live in apps that your users already share your products in to enable that and facilitate that easy use case into being able to involve with those technologies. But also as well, it limits the very disappointing experience of downloading an application, receiving a lackluster experiencing, and then starting to resent a brand for that.
Sure.
So start with the accessible implementations and kind of develop the AR from there.
Okay. And, we're going to meet Benoit from Artifact a little bit later, but one of the things I learned from him last summer when we sat down to chat was how much more of this vision of the future will be unlocked by AR products, technology, like the glasses, right? And so many companies are working on these. Snap's working on them, Meta's working on them, Apple's working on them, reportedly. Can you give us a little vision into the future of like what you think that will unlock? Like, why is that so important in the development of this technology?
Of course. I mean, the whole aim of AR glasses essentially is to aid a user's day-to-day and kind of have easier days. The act of putting out your phone, as I said before, is quite an obtrusive act if you want to capture a specific moment. It's about having technology that kind of facilitates your experience. AR at the moment is used in some modern-day cars to enable navigation within the windscreen. It's about kind of creating an experience that complements and adds computing into your real-world experience, and allowing you to just have easier and nicer days as a result of that.
So say I put on some AR glasses, 3 or 4 years down the road, and I'm walking down the street with those AR glasses. What am I going to see?
You can see anything you want to see. You can see the navigation if you're going to a specific way. Streets could be highlighted to say, turn down this road, you're on the correct avenue. You could see highlights of things you're looking through. You may even be able to see an audio reactive environment if you were listening to music. You could see pictures of your friends. Perhaps if you'd been in that location before, maybe a memento that you'd left in a previous point may be there. Perhaps if your friend left a memento, that could be there and you'd be able to experience it. Seamless integration with phone calls, being able to talk to people and communicate with people. It's all about whatever would make your day in your environment feel more productive and beautiful to you would be the things.
But you're talking to a fashion audience here. So
Everyone
most importantly, what are we going to be wearing? Like what's it gonna look like?
And that's the most important thing from my perspective as well. I mean, your clothing would be dynamic. It would be based on the mood you're in, what color you're wearing, being able to kind of wait for an item to arrive or being able to grab something right straight off the runway. That would now be immediate. You'd be able to customize the clothing you have, so there was infinite possibilities with the clothing you did have. You'd be able to change the clothing of other people if you didn't like it in your own personal world, like true curation. So it's all about, I think, with AR glasses, or at least my vision of AR glasses, it's all about creating the world that you would be most happy and most comfortable in, and the most extreme form of curation to create your own beautiful world.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ommy. That was very enlightening.